Hey everybody, welcome back. You win some, you lose some, you win some, you booze some. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I was temporarily taking a moment to see if we had forgotten that we won the last run. My brain's kicking back in. We won. It was almost a loss. Yes, Ruka, hello. Would you like to meow and announce your arrival to the YouTube audience? Ruka! Just give it a sec. Ruka! No meow. No meow whatsoever. That's okay. Dude, I saw it. We got Godhead. This run's not quite a slam dunk just because we got to the Godhead. Hold on. I gotta cover this power button up or this cat's gonna jump on it. I'll be very upset. I know you can change what it does in the Steam power settings, and by Steam I mean Windows 10, but sometimes it doesn't take, and I don't know why. All these updates or something. You can always blame anything on a Windows update. And in today's day and age, no one will question you whatsoever. You could be, oh, sorry boss, I was late for work. Oh, why were you late? Windows update. They'd be like, oh, are you okay? That's tough. It's true, they're annoying. I liken a Windows update to like when they do necessary sewer repairs on the street on which you live. You know, you're like, well, no, I don't want my street to overflow with human waste, but I also don't want to take a slight detour to get to where I want to go. That's Windows 10 right now. Like, the last update they pushed made it so that applications no longer have easy access to your microphone settings, and for a lot of people, that caused some issues where they start up a stream and they're in mono, or, you know, there's just no audio at all, or there's only game audio, or there's only mic audio. That wasn't what happened to me in those, like, 2 Isaac episodes where there was no game audio. I'm just dumb. And you know I'm always being honest with you, because there's a very easy example of where I could have gotten away with using the Windows Update excuse, and yet I did not. But yeah, you're like, you know, it's good. And if you would ask people, like, should applications have access to your microphone? They'd be like, nah, unless I say so. And they're like, okay, cool, we did it. And they're like, wait a minute, the OBS doesn't see my microphone. And they're like, yeah, I thought you want... And they're like, no, not like that. I mean, that's... I'm not saying that the people complaining about the update are wrong. They're very right. It's inconvenient, but probably also, in the end, a good thing. You get the idea. Radical centrism. Excuse me, the audacity of this game did not give me a second secret room in either of the first possible locations. So I said this run wasn't a slam dunk, and I still agree with that. It's very, very good. It's like a layup with a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter. You know, you'll take it. I don't know anything about basketball. Thought a layup was what Wilt Chamberlain did with 375 ladies, according to him. Dude, everyone always thinks that, like, Wilt Chamberlain may have exaggerated his prowess with the number of partners he had. What if, and this is just me spitballing, what if he actually lowered the number because he was embarrassed? And he's like, what's the normal number? Like 200? They're gonna know it's over the normal, so I'm gonna say 350, and then nobody has to know it's actually 1,500. Maybe he got away with the perfect crime. You ever consider that? Me neither, until just about 2 seconds ago when I decided I wanted to fill a little bit of airtime with the only thing I know about basketball. The basketball, the NBA championships to be more specific, because, you know, when I'm talking about basketball, you might perk up and be like, you mean the Italian league? No, I don't. I'm sorry, okay? I don't mean the Italian league. I'm sure it's wonderful. I mean, I've watched MLS, you know, the North American Soccer League. Europeans always make fun of MLS, and it is true, it's where, like, European players go to make way too much money when they kind of age out of the European leagues. It's either they go here or they go and they're like, now introducing the star striker for the Shanghai Dragons, you know. I understand that. But that doesn't mean you can't have a good time watching it. But the NBA Finals just finished. I'd like to thank the Warriors and Cavaliers for always keeping us guessing for how things would go. Just a really, really unpredictable season, as usual. I'm not trying to punch down at basketball. Hockey's in a really good spot. We don't need to punch down right now. You know, there's been like little miniature dynasties, but also franchises are coming out of nowhere, making the cup final. Franchises winning their first cup after being in the league for almost 50 years. You know, it's a good time to be a fan in the NHL. Unless you're a Canucks. No, it's even like, you know, as a Canucks fan, the true dark days, unless they haven't started yet. The true dark days were like 3 years ago, where you started, at the end of the 2014-2015 season, you were like, oh no, this is our team, and they're gonna be a year older next year, and we don't have any draft picks. Like, it was becoming a bit of a problem. And now you're like, you're on the way up. You know, being a Canucks fan in 2015 was like being the heaviest you've ever been. And now, it's like, not being in shape, but you're at least riding your bike, you know, 4 or 5 hours a week. No, I'm not talking from example. What are you talking about? The doors stay open. You know the #1 rule of comedy. Be funny. Good one. Heckler that I, for some reason, created to heckle myself. AKA... my future children inevitably making fun of what I did for a living for a long time in my 20s and 30s. Too real? Okay. We took the nail over my best friend, and that's because my best friend is not a good item, and the nail is. And if you have a problem with that, here's a phone number that I'm going to tell you is a helpline where you can speak to a registered customer service agent, but actually it just phones up this answering machine that makes a big old wet fart noise. It probably exists. You know? I wouldn't be surprised. I got a new phone provider recently, and when I was at the airport, I got a call, and they left a voicemail, so you know I was freaking out. Who called me and then deemed it important to be responded to? Anyway, it was Marriott. They told me I'd won a free stay, and the robot on the other end seemed very convincing. So I had to set up my new mailbox, but I was at the airport restaurant sitting by myself. So they go, please say your name at the beep so that, you know, people know who they called. And I was like, first off, I don't want people to know who they called. I want to keep them guessing at all times that maybe they got a wrong number, and then they won't leave a voicemail. So, well, that's pretty solid. Solid reasoning, too, obviously. When they did that, I just held the phone up and let it record ambient noise for like 3 seconds. So now whenever anybody calls me, they're gonna hear like, you know, some Midwestern lady in the background that's like, do you have any drink specials? And then the bartender responded, everything special. And everybody that calls me is gonna be like, what on earth have I gotten myself into? Have I phoned an establishment? Did I phone a joke? I do not know. What I do know is that I'm no longer confident. This is my way of taking back my own voicemail inbox. Is now, usually when people call, they're like rehearsing, you know. Oh, hello, Mr. Letourneau. This is your car dealership calling. Would you like to buy another Ford Focus even though you haven't yet paid off the one you've got and you hate it? Don't shoot the messenger. You can stand behind your Ford Focus, your Furkish, as much as you want, okay? If you're happy with your Ford Focus, more power to you. Ours is a piece of garbage. We've been ripped off by the Ford Motor Company of North America, Canadian edition. And they know it, and they know that we know it. It's a really awkward situation all around. So awkward, you know, you might think I'm awkward, like, hey, I'm the guy who doesn't want to say his name at the airport, because people will be like, why is that guy saying someone's name to himself? Is he a hitman, or is he a Pokemon, you know? But, They're the awkward ones. Because I was like, hey, can you replace the faulty transmission that you shipped out to like 11 million customers between the years of 2012 and 2016 as indicated in this class action lawsuit? And they responded, sorry, we'll get back to you. We're busy canceling the rollout of every single vehicle to our North American market except for the Ford Mustang because, you know, the middle-age crisis never goes out of style. And then, you know, some kind of SUV that we've as of yet not revealed. And I said, oh, these guys are crafty. Pretending that your business is going under due to increasing pressure from competitors, an incredible lack of foresight to get involved in self-driving autonomous technology and or fuel efficiency on a hybrid or full electric model. You are crafty if you think I'm gonna believe that market forces have depressed your business to the point where it's no longer profitable for you to operate in these nations. You must think I was born yesterday. Do you get it? Okay, you probably... We're gonna move on here. Disappointed with the item we got from our second item room. We had enough rerolls that I thought we could have made it work. Oh well. Instead, we get something more likely to hurt us than hurt an enemy. By the way, I'm not one of those guys, like, I don't have a bumper sticker that's like, you know, my favorite car brand peeing on another car brand. Who cares? More power to, if you're into cars. I know people that are into cars. Corey's chat, there's people that are into cars. It's cool. I'm actually jealous. When I was a kid, a car was just something you were in and it kind of gets you around. You know, as an adult, I actually do understand people who love cars. I don't get it to the same extent that those people do. Like, people were talking, you know, at the Hitman event. I was talking to one guy about the vehicle that he drives. And he said he drove a $200,000 car. And I'm not messing with you. I'm not going to tell you who it was. It was me. It was not me. The only thing that costs $200,000 on the Ford Focus is the class action lawsuit legal fees for millions of Canadians and Americans across the continent. But anyway, I said that's cool. I drive a 2015 Ford Focus. But, like, I would never see myself in that camp at all, where I'm like, oh, yeah, the new Maserati looks so much better than the old Maserati. But I do think it's cool. You know, he was talking to me and he's like, you know, I love working on the engine, like... You know, usually if I'm not recording videos, you can find me out in the back tinkering on the car. And I was like, that's a real thing? I thought that was only a thing that, like, dads do in movies. Like, how much do you have to tinker on a car? This is not me saying don't tinker. Please tinker away. It's me just not understanding what tinkering means, I think, in this context. Because, by the way, why did I take kidney stone when I had a reroll? What an idiot. No, but maybe. Let's fight the boss and then see. We got 100% odds, so I think we might as well. Like, you know, there's always, like, when a teenage son tells their dad they're moving away, they're like, Dad, it's time. And then the dad, like, gets out from under the hood with a wrench. He's got, like, a little grease mark on his forehead, perfectly placed by the makeup artist on set. It's that time already, huh, son? Knock him dead. And then he gets back under the car because he's emotionally repressed because he's a father in an American movie. You know how it is. I didn't realize there was that much to tinker with. I kind of thought it was like, you know, once every 3 months you change your oil. Apart from that, it's good to go. Apparently, I am ignorant of this issue. But I've come to respect the car. And tame the coupe! That's a Magnolia reference. Because it's really, it's like 5,000 machines in one that all contribute to a singular purpose. It's like a miniature space shuttle. It's the coolest machine we have access to on a regular basis. Is it also a bloodthirsty killer? Well, yeah. You know, in the wrong hands, or, you know, any hands at the wrong time. Tens of thousands of times a year annually across North America alone. But I digress. It's also pretty cool. But the mustache is on the outside of the paper bag. Paper bag mustache, paper bag pen. I had like 6 bits enter my head simultaneously, and I was like, nah, it's not gonna work. One of them was just really mean. I was gonna make a who's your favorite Beatle question, and I was gonna say, mine is Mark David Chapman. And even my brain was like mad at my brain. That's the dude who shot John Lennon. I was like, my brain was like, brain? That's not funny, that's just mean. And I was like, oh, sorry. Oh, did I offend you? Oh, did I offend you with my humor, brain? I didn't realize I was dealing with a snowflake. I thought we all came here to a comedy show. I didn't realize. I'm not supposed to laugh at that. Okay. One half of my brain is Ricky Gervais circa 2018. It's true. The other half of my brain is Ricky Gervais circa like Ghost Town in 2007 or 2008, where he's got a bit of a cynical bend to it, but at the same time, you know, his very human level of comedy before, I don't know, like Twitter or wealth, overwhelming fame turned him into kind of a punching down jerk, in my personal opinion. You know, if you like what you like, more power to you. It's not Jeff Dunham, so I'll give you that. I don't even want the golden heart. Get out of here with this golden heart business. So you ever have that happen? I get like the call of the void. You know, the expression the call of the void, not just the maw of the void. Might be similar things. I never really thought about it, but it's when, like, you know, you're driving your car and, you know, just out of nowhere, your brain's just like, hey, what if you swerved into the other lane? You'd just be dead. Isn't that weird? And you're like, brain, what are you doing? I didn't want to think about that, man. That's messed up. Your brain's like, oh, sorry. Did I offend you? Do I make you... Do I make you cringe, baby? Yeah! Anyway, you get the idea. What have we done with this run? I don't get that in real life. Like, I'm the guy who, when I walk on the subway or platform, I'm not like, man, wouldn't it be weird if I threw myself on the tracks? I'm like, anybody could just push me. So I'm getting the heck out of the way. I see these people, they got like headphones on. They're walking on the yellow strip that's like, don't walk past this, you could fall in and die. They're walking with headphones on the strip. What do you gain from doing that? I just can't fathom a reason for why you would choose to put yourself in that. It's not even like I think it's likely. It's not like it's a routine situation where I'm like, that dude's probably gonna get pushed on the tracks. It would mess with me forever if I ever saw it happen. I'm just saying, I don't know why you'd put yourself in that situation. It's not like it's more comfortable on the part where they tell you not to walk. Anyway. I get that for jokes. Like, I don't really think I'm an offensive person. When I tell a joke, I try to tell it in such a way. By the way, I'm so sorry I took Mom's knife when I had Godhead as well. Get out of here, clicker. Kind of ruined the Godhead synergy, huh? Or Godhead tier effect to some extent. You know, the risk of getting like a little too DAE. There's a stand-up comedian with the name of Mike Birbiglia put out a special, Thank God for Jokes. And it's a lot of the soul of the special is about, you know, a joke has to have somebody as the butt of the joke, and that person's probably not going to find it that funny, but that doesn't mean it's not worth telling it. You know, it depends on a lot of things. It depends on the context, the environment, you know, you get the idea. I'd highly recommend it. It resonated with me a lot. It probably won't with you, because you guys are just, you know, like normal people. I'm a celebrity, and I have to worry about stuff like that. Ha 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 ha. But I think about that, like, with jokes all the time. I'm like, I'll just come up with, like, the most offensive joke in my head that isn't even funny, and then my brain's like, you should say it, because it'll get a reaction. And I'm like, no, Ricky! Inner Ricky, get out of here. What if I put a baby in the blender? That's not funny, though. That's just... Oh, does this affect... No, it's just not... There needs to be another layer to it, is all I'm saying, okay? That's a mischaracterization of Ricky Gervais, even. Not just the terrible accent that I've done there. Anyway, I digress. I don't know if other people... this is genuinely offensive, and I felt almost sick to my stomach. But Dan and I did these videos of this game called The Darwin Project like 3 months ago. And it was before Infinity War came out. And Dan likes Game of Thrones a lot. But he doesn't like Marvel that much. So I was like, Dan, you know Tyrion Lannister is in... I'll take it, dude. You know Tyrion Lannister is in Infinity War. And he said, oh, cool, who does he play? And just, I thought about it and was like, you can't say it. And then I just said it. I was like, he plays Ant-Man. And the joke, ha ha ha, Peter Dinklage, you know, has some kind of dwarfism. Good one, right? But even after my filter caught it, and then my brain was like, I'm the manager, and I'm gonna let it slide. And after I said it, I laughed, and I do think it's kind of funny, but also really rude. And, you know, I don't need to apologize to Peter unless he's been personally offended by the joke. But I think I'll apologize to anybody out there that was offended by the joke, but at the same time, I also I can understand where you're coming from. 100%. I still think it was kind of clever in the moment. So that's, you know, he was the butt of that joke. And then I was the butt of that joke, because I spent, like, at least a couple hours that weekend before that video went live being like, was that responsible? These are the things I concern myself with. But I think that makes it that much better. You know, when you almost never go there, but you go there for no reason, that's when it's truly great. Anyway. I think that joke is not okay, and that's what makes it work. That's my perspective on this issue. And I had to retell that joke in an Isaac episode because none of y'all watched those Darwin Project episodes, and, you know, I'm not one of those YouTubers who's like, please watch my stuff, because, you know, I can always just make more Isaac videos every day until I one day pass away and people mourn me on Twitter for a day and then get over it. But, like, at the same time, the first video was pretty good. So if you ever get a chance, don't shy away from it. Just because the game may or may not go anywhere, okay? I haven't heard much scuttlebutt on the Darwin Project in a little while. But that doesn't mean it wasn't quality entertainment. The Battle Royale explosion is out of control, huh? I mention this a lot, but I don't watch that much Twitch. I watch like 2 time slots on Twitch ever. One of them is like between the period when I wake up and when I start working, which is a relatively small period. No, I won't stop saying period if it weirds you out. Maybe you should grow up. We'll take it. So oftentimes in that slot, you get a little sleep cycles, a little dang Giesling. Austin, depending on how much WoW we played the night before. You know, that kind of camp. And then, you know, those kind of people, the morning streamers. Oh, I'm a morning streamer. Here's my impression of a morning streamer. I just ate breakfast. Here's my impression of an afternoon streamer. I'm really good and funny, and people like me a lot, and I'm, yeah, okay, see, you get the joke as well, I'm assuming. And then I watch, like, the late night streams. And I don't follow that many late night streamers. So, like, it almost always ends up being Corey. And even this isn't, like, an everyday thing. It's, like, a few times a week I stop by. He loves Battle Royales. God bless him. He's played them all. We had a few discussions about Radical Heights. He foolishly thinks that game is good, and I very sensibly think it's garbage, and, you know, I'm not saying the company deserved to be shut down. I'm just saying, you know, when it happened, I was like, yeah, can't win them all. But I digress. He's playing this new one. It's called Realm Royale with cheese, and it's is made by the Paladins developers, I think. But the industry is so weird. I know that they were making a Battle Royale. I can't tell, though, if this is the one. That's where we're at with Battle Royales, is people were like, it's the Paladins Battle Royale. And I was like, really? Is this the one? Because I assumed it would be called something. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's just funny, I think, like, these games are all, and I play them, okay? Like, I didn't play Radical, I played one round of Radical Heights, and I very much disliked it. Now, is that enough to have judged it? Maybe, maybe not. That's up to you and God to decide. But I have nothing against Battle Royales in general. You know, when people are like, they're killing the industry, I'm like, you know, how many Call of Duties you own? Be honest. How many Call of Duties do you own? No, sir. 0. I only bought Call of Duty 4, I promise. You know, the one that changed the world. No Russian and all that. What is this? Then it's me holding up a copy of Call of Duty Ghosts. Well, that's, my grandma got that for me. I thought I'd turn that in GameStop after I finished the single-player campaign. There is world at war! You know, this is a joke about the secret police coming to your house to judge you for what you've purchased and thereby, like, ruining the game industry. It's a very silly joke, as you can tell. But all these games, they go so far out of their way to appear different from other Battle Royales, despite being almost exactly the same. Like in Realm Royale, with cheese, you don't get downed when you take too much damage. No, 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 no. What do you think, they're being unoriginal? You get turned into a chicken, and then when you're a chicken, you can't do anything. And if someone shoots you a couple more times, then you die. It's totally different than a down but not out. It's like you're not even paying attention. Did you not hear the chicken part? I'm more of the opinion, like, you know, if you're gonna do it, just own it. I'm okay with it, dude. I mean, we played like 300 episodes of Fortnite. We got like 100 episodes, or 300 episodes of PUBG, I should say. We got like 100 episodes of Fortnite. Fortnite, don't shoot the messenger on this one. It copied PUBG. It exists because PUBG got super popular. Now, was PUBG the first Battle Royale? No, but it holds a special place because it was the first one that broke out to that degree. And you know, I genuinely think that if you don't agree with me on that, you're arguing in bad faith. Mostly because I'm right. That one wasn't a joke, I would tell you. But just like own it, you know? Same thing like in Realm Royale. You drop out of a blimp instead of a bus. It's like, are you a stupid idiot or something? What do you mean we copied PUBG of Fortnite? You out of your mind? There's a blimp! Those ones have planes and buses! We got a blimp! I can't wait until... Well, Radical Heights took a very radical approach, fittingly enough. They just had you fall out of nothing. Because a blimp is, you know, a 3D modeler might have spent 7 or 8 hours on that, and they were running a little low on time. See, that is another, it's like the Ant-Man joke. I feel kind of bad about it, but I am just gonna tell myself that the utilitarian good of the amount of laughter that people got out of that is worth maybe making a Boss Key employee feel sad. I don't wish you ill will, okay? If you worked at Boss Key, I mean that sincerely. Obviously, what kind of person would I be if I just went... I wish you a lot of ill will. Oh, I wish you the illest of wills. If I was a character in Woody Woodpecker, they'd call me Ill Willie. As of right now, that's just what my doctor and wife refer to me as behind my back. Just own it, dude. You know, there's nothing wrong with the down but not out mechanic. It makes no sense, okay, when you get shot in the heart 15 times. And then your dude goes down on the ground, and then, like, a friend comes up to you and holds his hand on your back and gives you a glass of warm milk, and you're like, alright, I'm good to go. I mean, I'm at 50% HP, but, you know, we'll just buff that right out. But it's a gameplay abstraction. But, when you get to the point, like, hey, this dude hit me with a sword so many times, I turned into a chicken. I go, really? Couldn't just have him kneel down on the ground, huh? That's like... That's not really original. That's like when you go to, you know, you think plagiarism is just when you copy things word for word, so you go to like a website and you get a thesaurus out when you grab it. It's totally different. Here they said give up and I changed it to acquiesce. Ergo, not plagiarism. Get out of here. I don't like 7 seals. I picked it up with the Curse of the Blind, but... I don't understand. Well, I guess I do understand the Battle Royale cynicism. There's a lot now. But I don't know. I think my perspective is like, yeah, there's a lot now. But if you think there's a lot now, wait until like 2020 when all the AAA studios who aren't agile... AKA most of them, I'm sure, because these are huge projects, right? When, you know, PUBG took off in 2017, and all these studios said, hey, wait a minute. It's great. We should be making our own version of this, but it won't be out until 2020, 2021. That's when you're going to be like, okay. It's like you're the first group of people to become woke to, like, zombies being... overkill in games. You're like at DayZ mod level, where like you're like Left 4 Dead 1 was sick, Left 4 Dead 2 was sick, DayZ standalone, or not even DayZ standalone, sorry, the Arma 2 mod. You're like, you know what, it's cool and it's interesting, but it's kind of like, you know, I've had a few too many games with zombies in them now. And then like 2014 was like, you rang. Every second game is like, the War of Zeds, Operation Z, Project Zombicide. You're like, oh my god. Can't shake a stick without seeing the Z word, right? Zed TV, starring Matthew McConaughey. That's not funny to anyone but me and Mouth. Let me out. That's what Battle Royale is gonna. It's gonna be like the MOBA echo, because it's never like, it's always gonna be these indie studios or relatively, you know, agile companies that are like, hey, we made a Battle Royale in 3 months. Here it is. Get in while the getting's good. You wait for Deep Silver's Battle Royale in 2021, like freaking Dead Island BR. Remember where you were when you watched this video, because you're gonna know that I'm right. And if you don't, well, believe me, you're arguing in bad faith. Hey, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.